I'm saved, preacher. I understand what you're saying, but I just want to be comfortable and I want to ride this out to the end. That's it. They don't want to do nothing for Jesus Christ. They don't want to pass out a tract. Don't want to go out on the street. Don't want to be involved in any ministries. They'll have all kind of excuses as to what they go. Well, I do my thing. Yeah. What thing is it? I mean, if the local assembly has organized things going on, you're a member. Amen. You can get no amen. I'll send you a check. All right, there you go. All right, back over in Daniel chapter 11. And with the arms of a flood shall they be overflown from before him, and shall be broken, yea, also the prince of the covenant. So now you can go back over to Revelation, where, and I believe it's in Revelation chapter 12, Revelation chapter 12 and verse 15, where the serpent sends out a flood. So there's a physical flood. But you can also go back over to Isaiah, and I believe it's in Isaiah chapter 8 and 7 and 8, where it talks about the Assyrian, and that Assyrian, the Antichrist, comes in like a flood with his armies, and he overflows the banks. So it could be a physical flood, or it might be a military flood, an army, a flood of forces. Man, them guys, they come through that door, they were flooding in. We use that terminology all the time. Boy, it looked just like a flood of people, especially in the South. I don't know how y'all do it up north. But in the South, we use all kind of Bible words. And we don't even know we're using them. It's just words our granddaddy and grandma and all them said, and they're Bible words, and we use them in the context of the Bible. Just like y'all say victuals. You know, now y'all probably don't anymore, but y'all, your grandmother, your great-great-grandmother, and some of them from up there in the hills, they call them victuals. And that's a Bible word. All right, so he comes in with a flood. So we got that. You can look at that in Isaiah chapter 8, verse 7 and 8. You can also go over to Micah chapter 5, verse 5 and 6, and look at those as well. All right, now notice what goes on here. It says, after the league made with him, he shall work what? Deceitfully. There you go. You know what happens when absolute power corrupts.
Absolutely.
That's why our founding fathers understood that. Why? They may not have been Christian. They may not even have been saved, but they were deists. And they understood the significance of man and the depravity of man. Amen? And they understood that a central government, because they had already been under that with a king, that a central government like that was never good. Ever. And there was never a balance of power. You have to have that balance of power. That's what makes drawing going, but that's what makes socialism and communism so deadly, because there is no balance of power. Right now, we have freedom to disagree and have a varying of ideas. You have the right to get up and walk out. You have the right to come. You have rights galore, so many rights so that you wouldn't understand. Years ago, I run into a bunch of British guys that were in the Navy. And they were in port down there in Florida, and we all run in together. And I don't even know how we met them, but we ended up, and they were camping. And so we hung out with them, and we took them around, and we played American football, and then they tried to show us how to play European football, which is soccer. And back then, soccer wasn't real popular, so nobody really knew much about it. And then we took them to shoot guns. Freaked them out. You got guns, mate? Yeah, right here behind the seat. Good night. Yeah. They couldn't believe a CB radio, a citizen band radio. Because they were popular back then. They were real big. And they're like, man, you can't do that in Britain. This is back in the 70s. Couldn't own a gun. Didn't have any of those things. See, we as Americans have more freedom than we even realize we have. And we've lost a bunch. We have given away a bunch, but we still have quite a bit. But there's a bunch we have given away. And it's sad to say. And I'm not trying to wax political, but because we're talking about a political system and the Antichrist ahead of it, you got to understand what's going on. So, notice it says here, and he will work deceitfully. Now notice, not long after, it's just right after the league is made. As soon as they sign the papers and they agree, a league. You know what the UN was called before it was the UN?
League of Nations.
The League of Nations. He'll make a league with all the nations. And they'll come to him and they'll clamor to him. Why? Because they have fell into a pit and they need a shepherd to lead them. Problem is, it's the wrong shepherd. But just like a shepherd, he's going to try to lead them. He's an idle shepherd. He's a deceitful shepherd. He's the wrong shepherd, but they're looking for a shepherd. You know what people want? People want a good leader that they can fall behind. The children of Israel picked Saul because he was a head taller than everybody else. God picked David because of his heart toward him. And so he would lead the nation in the right direction. Did David make mistakes? Sure did. Just like everybody makes mistakes because we're all flesh. But if you find a good leader, even in the mistakes, he'll say, I was wrong there. That was me. My bad. See? But what's going to happen here is these people are going to be so desperate because all those people out there protesting in front of these ICE facilities, you know what they're doing? They're being led. They're being shepherded by these people that are there that are organizers. And most of them don't have a clue about the political party, the system, or anything about what's going on. I heard a thing years ago, and we'll have to close here in just a second. I heard a thing years ago dealing with people. An individual dealing one-on-one is intelligent. But dealing with a mob, you can never talk to them. Because it's called mob mentality. So somebody thinks they're going to go out in front of a mob and say, hold it, we've got to, let me talk to you for a minute. They're just going to stone you and roll you right over. Now each one of those individuals, if you had them alone for a few minutes where they would talk with you, you'd find out that this guy's really not a bad person. He's just misguided. He loves his family. He has kids. He may even have a job. But you get him in that herd, they'll trample you down. So that's what happens here with him. He comes in there and he takes that mob and he brings them under one leadership. It's a deceitful leadership. It's an anti-God leadership. But what you have to understand is watching American politics, everything that's going on in the world right now, what's going on in Israel with Palestine, what's going on in Syria, the Middle East, and then swing your head toward America, it's all just forerunners. We're just setting up the chess pieces because the game is afoot and it's fixing to kick off. The thing we want to make sure is we're ready to go. Amen. All right, we'll take a break here. We got all